everybody, and welcome. Welcome. We are here because there's no possible way I have new information about Ridgefield, Connecticut Town Hall. Because, Patricia assaulted me, and because I was filming her, she got butthurt and she assaulted me, and I offered her many ways out to apologize, but she called the police on herself, and, she didn't want to apologize. She'd rather be charged. And after this, we figure that we would hear nothing else from Ridgefield, but we do over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So let me ask you guys a question in the chat, because I really rely on the people to guide me through this. What do you think the chances are that there was another attack at this town hall? Because this is just really enjoyable. So you have 2 employees, 2 attacks, 1 town hall, which leads me to the title of this video: Infamous Town Hall Attacks Second Citizen. We know Leroy Truth has been going up there a couple times, and he is like the least imposing person you will ever meet. Like, he's really nice. He avoids conflict. He's very funny. And so I even spoke to a mainstream reporter who called me and wanted all sorts of updates. And she was like, I was like, yeah, Rudy attacked him and went crazy. She's like, no way, there's no way that happened. He's so grounded. And I sent her the thumbnail of this that Leroy made. And she was like, oh my God. So this is true. This has happened again. This is last minute because he just got the video out. So welcome everyone. Book Hermit. As If It's Your Business, Judd, George Daly, Heather Holt, Glow with Glow, Josh for Watch, Late Night with 702, all Bananarana, all the other, Anthony M. If I missed you, just keep typing, I'll see you. Welcome, members. Body Cam Network, he's in the chat as well. So here we go. This is the update that you've been waiting for. So let's go over everything that's happened. In fact, let me just play a quick intro to the first video so we can get you up to speed with where you need to be now, because Leroy Truth, this guy here, he was attacked when he went to the town hall. Leroy, you agitator, you.
Oh yeah, it was very shocking and surprising, because I had gone to Ridgefield Town Hall to do a sit-down interview with the first selectman, Rudy Marconi. And it was actually a pretty pleasant interview overall. I asked him a number of questions that he tried to dodge a number of times. And I answered the question: is it assault when someone gets hit? And, you learn it in kindergarten, for God's sakes. And using some humor, we put a sign up on the erection.
Oh, no. Don't give too much away. Don't give. Let me play what happened, and then we'll merge into this video, because I don't need what I normally have to do, go back and watch all these different clips and catch him up on his lies. Leroy just lays it out perfectly. So let me show you the initial interaction, just the intro. So if you're not up to date with it, you can be up to date with it. Let me play this, and then we'll play you the second attack. This is nuts. Hello. How are you?
Filming me?
I'm sorry?
Are you filming me?
Yeah.
Shut it off. Please shut it off. I don't want to be filmed.
Shut it off? No, we can't shut it off.
Listen, get out of here. You don't want to be filmed. I'm not kidding.
There's National Grinch Day. There's National Grinch Day today. Is that to
You know what? Can you please shut that off?
No, it's silly.
What do you mean no? Get out of here. Listen.
Be serious right now. Hello. So they're celebrating National Grinch Day at 4:15 in the town hall steps. Are you the Grinch this year?
Get out of here now.
Ma'am.
You know what? I'm going to hit the panic button.
You're going to hit the panic button?
Yeah. Can you get out? Get out.
Oh, ma'am, it's not going to be good. Don't do that. You're going to look very... Oh, all right, ma'am. All right. You're going to have to call someone now. Unfortunately, she's in trouble. If she's willing to apologize, I won't press charges.
Okay, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that.
It's Christmas.
Okay. So the apology's not going to happen. Okay.
Steps for...
Yeah, so she received a misdemeanor summons, which is basically a court appearance. It's
Okay.
a court ticket. So she'll be going to court to answer for the disorderly conduct charge, which is the charge appropriate in this specific situation.
All right, so that is visit number one. Buckle in your seatbelts because we have visit number two. Now, Leroy's been, and just so you guys know, a couple big updates. So I give this woman several ways out. I offer for an apology. I really don't like to see people charged if it can be avoided. And she tells the police to just charge me. I'm not apologizing. So she calls the cops on herself. She gets herself charged and arrested. The prosecutor, Sineski, is the same prosecutor that is going after Long Island audits for something that amounts to $100 citation. This prosecutor is wasting tens of thousands of your dollars by going after Long Island audits for $100 citation for filming in a government building. He dropped the charges against this employee who assaulted a citizen, restricting his rights to free press, is the same prosecutor that absolutely bundled the Sandy Hook case, and which he wanted to be his crowning achievement. However, his legacy is being known as the prosecutor that screwed up Sandy Hook and, pretty much destroyed the First Amendment and people's rights to records in the process, which leads us to this phenomenal man on the screen. If you are not subscribed to Leroy Truth, then really, to be honest with you, the only thing that I can say is do better, bud, because this guy is an absolute icon that you just didn't know about yet. This is Leroy Truth Investigations. He's been doing a lot of follow-up with this stuff. And this is his video, which is doing really well for a channel of his size, doing very, very well. By the way, guys, the pay apps are in the top of the link right up above you. If you guys do want to support the cause, feel free. Just like I did with Police State Productions yesterday, anything you send, since Leroy did this video, we're going to split it with him. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you subscribe to Leroy. So Leroy goes to the town hall. So let's start watching this video and let's watch this same guy go postal. So now we have an idea why his subordinate is attacking people and engaging in violent prior restraint, because look at the person that she's working for. Who knew that Rudy Jong-un, Kim Jong-Marconi, leader of the People's Democratic Republic of Ridgefield, had such a violent temper when it came to free speech?
Dare you do that?
How dare you?
Out.
See,
You put a
Gee.
sign on our door,
and now,
took
now
a
you're
picture
trying
of
to
it.
you're intimidating, trying to
You're done.
intimidate hit by a
Quiet.
worker.
I'm
No,
speaking.
I'm not. I'm not being quiet.
And I'm not listening to you.
That is ridiculous. Who do you think
Yeah.
you are?
There's
Who
an
do you
attempt.
thi- who do
You
you
know
think
who
you
I
are?
am. Not put a sign
Rules
on
for
my
me,
door
not for
that
me.
refers to animals.
Get
Take
out of
a
my space.
picture of it.
You just hit me.
I hit your camera.
You just hit it again.
Get the hell out.
Welcome, everyone. I am Leroy.
So quick pause real quick. In 35 seconds, you have Kim Jong-Marconi, Rudy Jong-un, attacking, hitting Leroy's camera, and he admits to it. So it's not one of these things where like any of them are doing something wrong and they're trying to cover it up. He said, I didn't hit you, I hit your camera. So there's no way to spin this. For the trolls and the bootlickers out there that love the taste of shiny leather, there's no way to spin this because he does what he does. Leroy calls him out for doing what he did, and then he admits, I didn't hit you, I hit your camera. Well, just so you understand that a camera is an extension of self, and that is 100%. And spoiler alert, the police did come, and Leroy wound up not pursuing charges. And my takeaway from that is good for Leroy, because what's the purpose? You know the police are going to come and do their job, but what's like when the police come, then he has to give up his identification so he can fill out a report. And that's fine. If you're going to do that and there's some liability, there's some accountability, there's some oversight, and it goes to court and then they prevail, then fine. But why give up his Fourth Amendment right when he knows as soon as it gets to this dirty, dirty prosecutor that's going after Long Island for $100 fine and bundled Sandy Hook, he knows it's just going to drop the case. So why give up his rights twice when he can give up his rights none? But second time the police came and were willing to file charges against someone from the Ridgefield, Connecticut town hall. So let's keep watching here.
Leroy Truth. For Leroy Truth, investigations. Today, we revisited the now infamous Ridgefield, Connecticut Town Hall, where we went there to simply ask Rudy Marconi, the first selectman, some questions. We were seeking answers as to why Stephen Studinsky, the district attorney in Danbury, Connecticut, dismissed the charges against Patricia Pacheco, who had hit YouTuber and activist of Accountability for All, Josh. Now, when we went there, Rudy actually formally invited us for a sit-down interview.
Thank you so much.
Which actually went very well. Now, one of the main questions we wanted answers to was that Stephen Studinsky is biased toward employees at the town and biased against the general public. Why do we know that? Because through a very reliable source, Stephen Studinsky admitted that why he dropped the charges is because Patricia works for the town. Now, understand, we didn't necessarily want Patricia fired, but instead we chose to use satire and humor during our visit in response to the security wall that Rudy Marconi had erected. It turns out that the security wall isn't to protect the staff from the public, but as you'll see in this video, definitely to protect the public from the staff.
So, quick question, Leroy. Could you tell me the sign that was put on his $200,000 part of his $200,000 construction mishap? What does the sign say that you put on the wall?
Right, something like animal enclosure behind this or something. You know, nothing crazy, but animals are beings that basically they just lead with their emotions and not intellect. And so
you were sending a satirical message. You said,
right,
you guys
absolutely,
want to act
satirical
like
message.
animals. So they act with violence and abridge your free press rights, and you respond with a comical song, kind of like she tried to attack me and I kind of just laughed it off. This is what happens when you pay the government salary hundreds of thousands of dollars and they act like complete fuck knuckles. So let's continue watching.
Now, Rudy did not like the sign we brought at all and the humor that we shared.
Dare you do that?
How dare you?
How?
Instead, he lost it completely. As we were leaving the building, we were coming down the stairs on our way out. He literally chased us down after he found out about the sign and very aggressively
Who do you think you are?
got in my face.
Who do
You know who I am.
He completely lost it. He went
Do
postal.
not put a sign
Rules
on
for
my
me,
door
not for
that
me.
refers to animals.
Get out of my
Take a
space.
picture of it.
You just hit me.
I hit your camera.
You just hit it again.
Get the hell out.
It's
You're
humorous.
pointing at me. You're in my space with
I
your
was
finger.
you came
Is
from
that
down
an
the
assault?
stairs to my space. It's on camera here.
It's humorous because
I want to just point that out real quick to the folks at home. He made it a point to walk all the way down the stairs to get face to face with Leroy Truth Investigations, hit his camera several times, admit to doing it, and then he yelled at Leroy for getting in his face. That's like Leroy punching me in the face, and for him to be like, "Oh, you ran into my fist. Why would you do that? This is terrible behavior." And you see the look of disdain in his face. You know who I am. We all know who you are. You're Kim Jong Marconi. You're the leader of the People's Democratic Republic of Ridgefield, which is the sister city to Pyongyang. So let's continue. This video, by the way, guys, only gets better.
you proved the point, sir.
You absolutely proved the point in this interaction. You
That's why it's
absolutely proved it.
You don't want to miss a second of this video. Lastly, the police were called on us. The police showed up, and the most courteous and professional people in the whole experience today were the police. They could have not been more respectful or more courteous. Stay tuned. Act like an animal. Whose fault is it? Yours. Now, to demonstrate how a normal human being would act if they're called an animal, I want to bring my assistant of YouTube, Scalzo Photo, and let's demonstrate it. Now, I'm going to call you what I do.
Okay.
You are an animal.
That's actually not accurate. I'm not an animal. I'm a person.
Beautiful.
All right, have a good day.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, you got to see the friggin' brilliance in this, because you just saw how Rudy Marconi acted. He stormed down the stairs. He got all violent. He started poking at their property, restricting their First Amendment right, just like Patricia Pacheco did. And he did it because Leroy put a sign on the $200,000 wall that said, "Caution, animal control, animal enclosure." And it was satire because they were acting like animals. So he put that sign. And Rudy goes postal. And then he takes the satire one step further and says, "All right, well, I'm going to call you an animal. So let's can we try this together? So I'm going to see how Rudy should have acted. So try it with me. You go ahead, call me an animal."
Josh, you are an animal.
That's actually inaccurate. I'm a totally separate species. I'm a Homo sapien. I'm a person. I'm not an animal. Joke's on you. You stand corrected. You did not know what an animal was.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that and enlightening me. Have a nice day.
And I didn't assault you. Let's continue. This
No.
this
It's
is
so
just-
freaking basic. It's basic human interaction. Respectful
Just so
human
everyone knows,
interaction.
Leroy is my spirit animal. I'm just saying. Oh, I called him an animal. Don't attack my camera.
Enjoy a beautiful day. What type of information do you give here? And ring the bell because we do in here. That is here. Let me put this up here. The position. It's very appropriate. And ring the bell because we do what the government wants us to. Employees only. Please ring the bell. Hey, hello there. I'm here to talk with Rudy Marconi. Yep, Leroy Truth with Leroy Truth Investigations.
Leroy Truth Investigations. Do you have a card on you?
No, I don't have a card.
Just a couple questions, quick.
Yeah, thank you. Let me get that for you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
And a business card would have
Thank
made
you so
it so much more official.
All right, excellent. Appreciate you taking some time to talk with me. I have gotten a lot of people have asked me in follow-up from our original conversation, and I found out that Patricia Pacheco was let go of all charges and they were dismissed.
That was a court issue. I didn't do it. That was legal, right?
But one of the questions I got, did you have any communication with Stephen Sedensky?
No.
Because there's something,
He's no longer the DA. You know that?
I do. I
I
heard he retired, but I heard he's still active because even though he let Patricia Pacheco out, which makes no sense. I got many people who have said, why was she let out? This smells like some type of corruption, possibly. Because, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Corruption, because it doesn't exist.
Well,
I can tell you
here's
from my perspective only.
But here's the question, is that if corruption doesn't exist, how is it that someone who was caught on film hitting someone, which is assault, how were charges dismissed? When Josh did not dismiss the charges, he didn't drop the
answer
charges.
that question. I don't know the answer to
All right.
that. I don't work at the courthouse.
But did you have any communication at all with Steve Sedensky?
On this issue? None.
Because he simultaneously is prosecuting with prejudice a gentleman named Sean Reyes, who is
I don't know.
an auditor. And he was arrested in Danbury. This is going on for 2 years.
Sir, what's your name?
Arresting a peaceful journalist in a public space. This is Officer Mike Farrell.
Put your hands behind your back. You look like utter. You must be his
The latest eyesores in Danbury began piling up over the summer.
And he would not drop the charges, even though the gentleman did nothing wrong whatsoever.
It's a cameraman. The corruption comes because Sean was still being prosecuted for doing what we're doing right now, which is kind of crazy.
I don't know.
And then
I don't know what happened in Danbury.
Right, he did the same thing. Literally, all he was doing was taking pictures and video in public and publicly accessible areas. And he was arrested, even threatened with death by a police officer there, which was caught on a body cam.
This is not going to end well with you. You know that.
Okay, we'll see.
No, I'm telling you.
20 years ago, that motherfucker would be dead. He'd be fucking his teeth if he listened.
So keep an eye on that, guys. That's the police referring to Long Island audits on body cam. and just get an idea of where you are and the prosecutors that prosecute this area. The same police that report to the same prosecutor said of somebody filming and exercising their rights in a public place, he'd be dead. He'd be missing teeth. That's how the police react. Of course, we're poking the bear. We're these bad people. And by the way, if you go on the Connecticut court, Danbury GA3 district, or just the state court at all, and you look at their listings of prosecutors, there is no new prosecutor assigned to Steven Sadinsky's role. And even Long Island Audit, who has a case with him right now, has confirmed that he is still working. And he called me personally. So I'll take it. Fine. He's not on the job anymore. Then why is he calling victims and interfering with government business? So trying to excuse this guy is really only making the situation worse. Again, if you have not subscribed to Leroy Truth Investigations, his link is in the chat. This is his video we're watching. Make sure you subscribe. Also, if you guys want to support the cause, our PayPal and Cash App link, it is pinned to the top of the comment. Feel free to donate or to super chat. We will read all the super chats at the end. You just made that up, a pure lie. Josh did not attack that woman. She attacked him. And you know what? This is fine. We can let people like kind of make up the story as we want it to go. I didn't want the woman charged. On 4 separate occasions, I offered her the opportunity. I was like, listen, I want to forgo charges. And she said, and it's in the police report, and I quote, "Charge me. I'm not apologizing." If you call the cops on yourself and you ask the police to charge you, that's poking the bear, and the bear poked back. It just happened to not be a dirty cop. We deal with cops so much, and for a large majority of the time, they misbehave, they act inappropriately, and they're dirty. This was an exception to the rule. So we appreciate it. Let's keep taking a look here.
I'd have removed his teeth. He would be dead. When independent journalist Sean Paul Reyes tried to film in the public library.
Freedom of press. This is public.
Protected activity. It's Danbury. I mean, in the municipal world, my job is Ridgefield.
Right.
And that's my jurisdiction doesn't go beyond these
Right.
borders.
I understand. But my
I do
concern
work
is,
in regional
has there been
capacities.
communication with Steven Sadinsky
No,
between you and him?
None. I don't know what happened in court. I have no idea.
No, but I'm saying, but you
And I
saw what
can't
actually
answer-
happened in reality,
I
though.
cannot answer for what took place in that courthouse, or why, or what the discussions were, anything. I was not a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
truly not a part of it.
And just to
I'm not
clarify,
going to fabricate something right now. I'm going to tell you the truth. After all, that is what you're seeking.
Right.
And the truth is, I have no knowledge of what the disposition was of that case. And secondly, I have no knowledge, certainly of Danbury, and what may or may not have transpired between the case you're referring to, the individual, and the DA at the time.
Right.
I have never met Steven Sadinsky. We have no I may have met him once at some kind of a retirement party, I think, for a judge of probate, maybe. But beyond that, I never even spoke. Not me.
Okay, 2 more questions for you.
Sure.
And I appreciate you taking some time to,
Yeah, of
to talk
course.
with us. Is when it comes to the actions of the employee here, how do you justify that person still works here after she assaults, and you saw with your own eyes, a member of the public? An unprovoked attack. You know, how can that person still work here? And in fact, does she still work
Well, again, you're using words that I don't agree with.
here? You don't agree that when someone hits
She
someone,
was provoked.
I'm saying she was
are you
unprovoked.
provoked right now?
Oh,
It was
well,
unprovoked.
she was intimidated certainly by the cameras. I know a lot of people that are that way, don't like to have their
So I can
pictures
just-
taken.
Smack you?
Right. So in other words, he can just
That's,
hit me.
I mean, I'm not,
And,
how ridiculous.
I mean,
is
this we're talking. This is basic human interaction. You know, someone hits someone. You're not allowed. You were taught that in kindergarten, and you're
But
trying
if
to
someone was
justify it.
standing in the doorway doing something that I asked them not to, do I have a right to react to that?
Not if
Now,
you're-
You-
I'm saying.
You have a right to verbally
I
react any
am
way you
saying
want.
that what was done is not correct. I would have handled it differently.
Would you say it's illegal?
But that the courts handled it. That was their decision. That's why it went to the court. That's why.
And I want to explain something. And Leroy Truth did an amazing job getting to the bottom of this part, and that's the reporter, the longtime activist, and a difference maker that he is, because he did this for one sole reason. He wanted to show the change in Rudy's demeanor and opinion on this situation as it's changed over time. So what Leroy Truth is doing right now is he's setting him up. He's setting him up to fail. He's asking him a question where he either tells the truth and he affirms this behavior and sticks to his guns and says, yes, it's okay to assault people for filming in public. Or he does what he's doing. He goes opposite and says, no, that was not okay. And then he's going back on what he said earlier, and he's throwing his employee under the bus because it's election season. Or he can do what he's doing, which is splitting the baby. He's saying, oh, she was intimidated, and I get why she assaulted him, but still, it wasn't right. So, but he still thinks it's okay to attack people for filming.
A summons was issued, right?
Well, she was arrested, not because it was not illegal. She was arrested because it was illegal.
Which, of course, the cops would not have, the police in Richfield would not have filed or issued a ticket.
And the police did an excellent job, in my opinion. They did a pretty good job.
Well, the officer, I don't recall his name, but he was very, very professional.
He was.
Lost her mind.
Get the fuck out of here.
Look very. Oh, unfortunately, she's in trouble. If she's willing to apologize, I won't press charges.
Very kind of you. I appreciate that.
So the apology's not gonna happen.
So she'll be going to court to answer for the disorderly conduct charge, which is the charge appropriate in this specific situation.
And Josh was also very professional. He said if Patricia simply apologizes for hitting him, he would have dropped the charges. And he refused to do that. Then I saw.
She did.
She didn't apologize to him.
No, she refused.
Right.
To apologize.
She refused to apologize.
Right.
And
I agree with you.
And I saw a very, I'd say a pretty angry video where you were saying that Josh abused the First Amendment. And how can you abuse the First Amendment? I saw on a video.
Couldn't be more disappointed in that group who thought they were doing a First Amendment audit. Are you kidding me? Read the amendment and act accordingly. She asked very politely, please don't record me.
It's silly. Are you the first selectman?
No.
Oh, no, we were coming around asking questions about the annual Grinch Day that you're having at 4:15, but I guess before we got to that, she
You know what? I'm gonna
lost her
get
mind.
the fuck out of here.
Holy
Get out.
smokes. Oh man, it's not gonna be good. Don't do that. You're gonna look very. Oh my God.
And how can you
Well,
abuse the
not
First
the word.
Amendment
What concerns me is that
unless you yell fire or something in a crowded building, which we all agree upon?
the incident was placed on YouTube for remuneration. Am I correct?
I don't
Have
know.
any checks been issued?
I don't know the
According
answer
to
to that.
Josh, he would get paid.
Well,
Yeah.
every media organization makes money.
Right.
Even,
So
Right,
even,
that's
even
not
PBS.
that is where I am saying the First Amendment is there to protect people, not to be used to have people make money by
Every-
using the First Amendment.
Every media organization
Okay.
makes money. CNS,
Well, I'm not saying you
CNS,
shouldn't
Fox,
make money. How you make money should you be
But-
using the First Amendment to generate
but
revenue?
some people say CNN is full of lies. Some people say Fox News is full of lies. They're both using the first lies.
Oh, oh,
So
okay.
depending on your
I'm not arguing with
depending on
you
your
there.
political perspective.
Media in general.
So, but they make money off of 50%
Yeah,
lying
the more
technically.
viewers they get, the more
So
money comes in for advertising, right? Those are how many people watch our show. The more people you get tuning in, the more people, and often Rupert Murdoch, if you all
Right.
remember him,
yeah.
sensationalism sells. Sensationalism on the front page of newspapers. And I think Google through YouTube is doing the same.
So let's look up this word real quick, because Leroy's a smart guy. I want him to help me here. Let me just Google this real quick because I don't know much. But sensationalism definition: the use of exciting or shocking language at the expense of accuracy in order to provoke public interest or excitement. So let's look at what he did. So I said, she attacked me. I was willing to, she attacked me. She called the police. I was willing to drop it. She, stuck to her guns and wanted to be charged. That's accurate. However, as you saw on the previous clip, Rudy was real quick to say, "Oh, this poor woman, she was bullied. She was bullied. She was intimidated. She was this, she was that." The only sensationalism, I would argue, based on the definition, and people like to use words without knowing what the words are, and then when they get called out on it, they feel kind of dumb about it. But I would say that the only person that was sensational or sensationalized the incident was Kim Jong Marconi or Rudy Jong-un. What would you say, Leroy?
Absolutely. And just like with the original visit you had at the Richfield Town Hall, no one else but Patricia Pacheco sensationalized things. It would have been just a pleasant video, you singing Christmas carols to people, everyone having a good time who works there. She created the sensationalism, the newsworthiness. And Rudy did the same thing. We were on the way out of the building, and he literally stopped us, got in front of us.
Well, he also says, read the First Amendment and act accordingly. And it specifically says that there will be free press. You will not abridge the freedom of the press. So he really is I can't even say loose interpretation of what his job calls him to do, because he understands nothing that comes out of his mouth, because politician bullshit isn't working here. You have a person that's more educated than him, that's more prepared, that's doing much better than him in life in general, asking questions that he can't politic his way out of because he's not on the phone or in person or on a live stream or on pen to paper with lamestream media. He has someone that's not going to accept the status quo and is going to ask questions. And he asks a few more before Rudy goes postal. Again, guys, thank you so much, Andre. Appreciate that. Andre says you need to ask for email, voicemail contracts of Hitler Marconi since the attack occurred. Yeah, that's a great new name for him, Hitler Marconi. Anyone who does send super chats, we will save them, read them at the end. Also, pinned to the top of the chat is the pay links. I don't think we've gotten any yet, but should anyone want to do that, they will be split with the victim of Rudy Jong-un. Let's continue.
Sensationalism sells. It's a modern day newspaper.
Right. However, here's the thing. The only reason sensationalism happened. Oh, before that, I want to make this point.
You're not letting me finish.
I will. I want to hear you. But the only reason there was sensationalism, Rudy, was because Patricia attacked Josh.
But that's what you were looking for.
No.
Then why was he holding the cameras filming her?
Well, he was singing Christmas carols.
Right.
A non-aggressive manner. We try and be polite and let the staff know that, we're not there to try and get them upset.
People have the right to go into any public place and film as much as they want.
He was saying, and I saw interactions. He was saying Christmas carols with other employees.
He was
talking about the Grinch, which he didn't know about until he came into the building.
Yeah, he was talking about the Grinch, whatever celebration that was.
It wasn't a celebration. It was just.
So here's what someone does: is we have a right to see what our public officials are doing during the course of their duty. Hello, how you doing? Good.
If someone people in here, you can go through everything up there.
Right. And if someone doesn't want to talk to someone, that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm an elected official, and my responsibility to the public.
I just want to say, not for much longer. I am on full campaign that I need Leroy Truth to be the first selectman. And I haven't even spoken to him about this yet, but I want Leroy Truth to be the first selectman of Ridgefield. So Leroy, if I was to put a PAC together for you, invest my own funds, would you be willing, and I mean this in all seriousness, because we have to get you registered quickly. We have to get you signed up with, I'm sure conservative, I don't know, but a libertarian, whatever. We got to get you signed up, but we can make this happen. Would you be willing to run against the incumbent first selectman, Rudy Jong-un?
Yes, I would move to Ridgefield, and my entire campaign could be won by simply showing who he is. This is the real Rudy. Enough said.
Yeah, we don't need political attack ads. We just need to give Rudy a microphone and someone else with a camera. He'll do all the work for us. Let's continue.
Public is very clear to me that I work for the public, and I don't care who you are. I owe you information. I have to give you that information. Sometimes people use FOI. They don't even bother calling. They'll say under FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, I hereby request information is available. We will contact to process. And this is where processing that. And that's why I agreed to you. And she has every legal right to do that.
And I say, you know what? Please stop doing that. And I'm in a public place and she doesn't stop. Then what happens to me if I go over and I slam her with a folder with a metal clip on it?
Oh, it'd be horrible. I'm agreeing
Right.
with you.
Then what happens to me if I go over and I slam her with a folder with a metal clip on it?
Oh, it'd be horrible. I'm agreeing
Right.
with you. Oh, it'd be horrible. I'm agreeing
Right.
with you. Oh, it'd be horrible. I'm agreeing with you. Oh, it'd be horrible. I'm agreeing with you. Oh, it'd be horrible. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Oh, it'd be horrible. I'm agreeing
Right.
with you.
But when the charges
I
have
don't
been
know.
dropped, if I did it,
So
since I didn't
don't-
work for the town.
I can't.
So just
I'm
to
not
clarify,
gonna be a prophet here.
at this point, it's not really about you. It's about Sedensky. So we're gonna touch base with him.
So real quick, he agrees. He agrees because Leroy trapped him and he set up the logic trap. He said, let me ask you a question. If Josh went up to Patricia and Patricia was filming Josh and Josh said, oh, don't film me. And Patricia kept filming Josh and then Josh whacked her. What would that be? He goes, oh, that'd be horrible. I'm not disagreeing with you. So now he's cornered himself where he's because he won't admit he's wrong. He's a politician and he accepts government funding. He can't be wrong. So now he's literally had to throw her under the bus at his own expense. Election season's here, Rudy. So let's watch the flip out. I'm going to skip to the flip out and the police.
Him and ask these questions. You've been actually pretty nice today. You've been answering questions. That's pretty
Believe
cool.
it or not,
Yeah.
I'd be pretty nice every day.
No, exactly. And
Mine
you-
is- can you just open that door? Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Have a 3 o'clock Zoom.
Oh, okay. Who's that with?
That's for the storm updates.
Oh, AAR.
All right, we're all
Okay.
set. So,
We're doing an after-action review of the responses on the last storm we had,
all right.
mainly Eversource.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, well, Rudy, thank you for your time.
Good seeing you again. Happy New Year to
You
you.
too. Thanks.
Okay, good luck to you.
One thing I'll email. I want to see if you can set up a program like maybe once a year with new hirees about the First Amendment. Because obviously there's going to be people coming in with cameras in the future.
Yeah.
Just a little, brush up.
Sure. We do that with FOI.
Oh, nice.
But this will be part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even people with the work in the back, it's good to be aware of everything. So anyway, I appreciate your time.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay. Just met with.
I left my tape in the box there. I used for the sign. You gotta go get it.
Yeah. Okay. And the sign was up the whole time.
All right.
So no one took the sign down, ladies and gentlemen, because maybe they realized that that wall, the barrier was erected to protect the public. Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's a joke.
You put it on our door and took a picture of it. Why would you do that?
It's humor.
Can you run your camera?
Do what?
Run your camera, please?
Yeah.
Why, is this fair?
It's humor.
This is-
No, it's humorous.
No.
Yeah.
It was a
You don't
joke.
like humor. You questioned me laughing before.
You
Can I have that picture?
no, you were actually,
It was on our
you were
door.
actually laughing.
You
You were
put
laughing when I was asking
a
serious questions.
disgusting sign on our door, took a picture of it, and you're gonna put it on YouTube to make us be something we are not. How dare you do that?
How dare you?
Out.
She assaulted
I'm done.
that.
So real quick, I just want to figure this out. Maybe you guys can help me. He said, you're putting a sign on our door to make us appear that we're something that we're not. The sign said, warn, caution, animal enclosure. Patricia acted like an animal. He's acting like an animal. To disprove the sign stating that they're not animals, he decided to act like an animal.
It's crazy. I mean, he literally chased us down like an animal. We were on the way out
He
the
hunted you.
door. We were going to go down the stairs and then go out of the town hall. He literally chased us down the stairs yelling, got in front of us to prevent us from leaving. That's what an animal does. And he cornered us.
He stalked his prey.
Right. He cornered us. He cornered his prey.
The double-eared, big-nosed Dingo Rudy is what we have here today, folks. By the way, guys, please feel free to super chat. Also, the pay links are pinned to the top of the chat. PayPal, Cash App. Really appreciate. And, no hate. If you can't, that's fine. Donations not required, but always appreciated. And mostly, thanks, Brooklyn Audit. Appreciate that. And congratulations on getting out of what you got out of the other day. Great video. I did see it. But most importantly, subscribe to Leroy Truth Investigations. Let's finish up this video, and then we're going to talk a little bit about this. So let's finish it up.
I'm done.
That photographer, she assaulted. No, you were actually laughing.
You
were laughing when I was asking
a
a serious question.
disgusting sign on our door, took a picture of it, and you're going to put it on YouTube to make us be something we are not. How dare you do that?
How dare you?
Out.
She assaulted
I'm done. I'm done.
that photographer. She assaulted that photographer.
You put a sign on our door.
And now
took a
you're
picture
trying
of
to
it.
you're getting intimidating, trying to
You're done.
intimidate me, get into my space.
You're right. I'm very nice to a certain extent. That was totally unfair.
You know what was
That
unfair?
is
Is
unfair.
Josh getting hit by
Quiet.
a worker.
I'm
No, I'm
speaking.
not being quiet. That is ridiculous. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Yeah, a person that condones violence in Ridgefield, Connecticut. That's who you are. Rules for thee, not for me. That is exactly what we have experienced here today.
Do not put a sign
Rules
on
for
my
thee,
door
not for
that
me.
refers to animals.
Get out of
Take
my
a
space.
picture of it.
You just hit me.
I hit your camera.
You just hit it again.
Get the hell out of here.
So now that's who you are. Rules for thee, not for me. That is exactly what we have experienced here today.
Do not put a sign
Rules
on
for
my
thee,
door
not for
that
me.
refers to animals.
Get out of my
Take a
space.
picture of it.
You just hit me.
I hate your camera.
You just hit it
Get
again.
the hell out of here.
So now I was assaulted twice by first selectman Rudy Marconi.
No, you weren't. You're a liar.
You just acknowledged.
Wait.
It is mind blowing. It is. Neural pathways are not connected in this situation, Josh. With this man.
Leroy, can you help me for a moment, please? I need some assistance. Can you be the one?
Oh, you just froze, Josh.
Okay, Rudy's not here. It's a safe space. So he said to you, I hit you. I hit your camera. And then just seconds later, he says, I didn't hit you. That's a lie.
That is the quickest turnaround that shows the truth of a politician's true nature. I mean, literally, it was a 2-second turnaround. The truth, he did speak the truth. I hit your camera. And then takes about 5-6 steps. And in that period of time, I'm a liar.
Well, he did this before.
Yes,
You called him out. You said, we heard some really crazy stories that you built this wall and this barrier. And as he's leaning on it, he goes, no, I didn't build a wall. Like, we can't see the video that was there. And then 10 seconds later, literally 10 seconds later, he's like, we put this in here. Like, he lies like a rug. The guy has an acute case of liabetes. He's a type 69 liabetic. And I'll go over all the super chats at the end, but he is a type 69 liabetic. So let's run this part back again real quick, because I want you to see the level of honesty that is your government, which is why you need to elect future first selectman of Ridgefield, Connecticut. He will no longer allow it to be the sister city of Pyongyang. It will no longer be the People's Democratic Republic of Ridgefield. It will be the Free Republic of Ridgefield under first selectman Rudy. Nope, Leroy. And we love that. So let's go back. Let's take a peek at this guy's political lies.
Rules for thee, not for me. That is exactly what we have experienced here today.
Do not put a sign
Rules
on
for
my
thee,
door
not for
that
me.
refers to animals.
Get out of
Take a
my space.
picture of it.
You just hit me.
I hit your camera.
You just hit it again.
Get the hell out of here.
So now I was assaulted twice by first selectman Rudy Marconi.
No, you weren't. You're a liar.
You just acknowledged on film that you hit my camera.
Liar. I hit your camera. I hit your camera. I hit your camera. I hit your camera. Liar. How dare you?
You just said it on camera.
It's all sensationalism. I hit your camera.
You just said it on, you just said it on camera.
It was humor.
The public call me. Call me and have a conversation with me.
Yeah, call
Call
the
and ask
assaulter, the
what they
person
did
who
on our
allowed
door,
Patricia
took a
Pacheco
picture
to
of it
assault someone,
to fool
and she
you.
still works here.
To fool the public. And I know
And
you're not
then
going
he
to run
assaulted
this.
me. He
You're
twice
gonna cut
he
pieces.
hit
I
my
know what
camera.
Sorry, Rudy. ever the political acumen. You're not going to run this. I know you. You're going to cut things out. No, we are going to run the hell out.
Right,
of
we're
this.
transparent. We're giving the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help us, Rudy. And plus, Josh and everyone here, he literally invited all of you to call him. Normally, I wouldn't say, hey, call. You could do that if you want. But I'm not saying you should call him. He literally said, everyone who views this video, please call him so he can tell you the truth. So if you are so inspired by his invitation.
Listen, we're not asking you guys to call him. We're simply saying you have the right to redress your grievances to your elected body. And I'm quoting Rudy. He wants you to call him. I'm saying don't. If he's lonely.
I'm saying don't as well. But
yeah, if he's lonely, there's numbers that he can call. But I wouldn't pay the $9.99 a minute because you ain't going to be getting that tax fund anymore. Leroy Truth Investigations, make sure you subscribe to him. Check out his video. I'm leaving out a bunch of stuff because I need you guys to go watch the whole video. So we're not going to be watching all of this. We're going to wrap up pretty quickly after Rudy continues to make an ass of himself, because there's several things in life that are certain. That Leroy Truth Investigations is an American hero. That taxes, death, and that Rudy Marconi will always lie like a rug. In fact, if he was an animal, he'd be a lion because that's all he ever does.
What are you going to do?
Which I am holding.
Your phone? You have your phone? Why don't you take a picture of this?
I have an important message from 1999 George Clooney on how to deal with humor that you don't like.
If you get mad, you need to step back and count to 10. And if you can't get over your anger, get help.
I hit your camera.
So rather than getting angry, why don't you just speak calmly?
Take that out of his pocket.
It was an attempt at humor because nothing was solved.
Can you take this picture?
It was an attempt at humor. It was just humorous.
Nothing was solved. What was the problem?
Well,
And you assaulting me. I have it on camera, and you said it. You hit my camera.
Want to know why? So
hit my camera.
One second. It's humorous.
You're pointing at me. You're in my space with your finger.
You came
Is
from
that
down the
assault?
stairs to my space. It's on camera here.
Yeah,
Did you get this?
No, this one's on.
See?
The reason why it's humorous is because
That's what you did.
I'll tell you why it's humorous. It's humorous because
That's what they put on our door.
but it's humorous.
Shout out seriously to the guy that Rudy's ordering around. Very, very smart. He will not take Leroy's picture because he knows that Leroy is a friend of mine, that I work together with Leroy. They've obviously watched some of my videos. They know the moment he takes a picture of Leroy that we're getting a Freedom of Information Act request for him. We're getting the footage from that phone, and he does not want to sink with the ship that Kim Jong Marconi is sinking.
Creating the sensational.
It's humorous because you prove the point, sir.
You absolutely proved the point in this interaction.
That's why it's funny. That's why it's
And
funny.
you got aggressive.
That's
with
why
me.
it's funny. It's you basically you prove the point,
Right.
which
That
is
was
why
the
it's
point of humor, and you proved that it wasn't humor. It's actually reality. Good job. Good job,
humorous.
Rudy. Good job.
I mean, you can't make that up.
No, you can't.
I mean, what the hell? Are you kidding me?
I mean, this is exactly.
It's literally a sign with a form for public record requests. Okay. Oh, what did they call you about? Just
yeah, it was just,
You should see the video. Is wild. He got apparently the selectman has a short temper.
he actually got aggressive to me. I mean, similar to what Pacheco did and Rudy did. Okay. And we had a sign. It was a joke. It's a sign. He aggressively came down the stairs, got in my face.
Guys, this just in. I guess I was wrong. He was just not smart enough to know that we wouldn't FOIA request it. The guy that was standing next to Rudy is actually the person that was across the office from Patricia Pacheco. He was the guy that was calling the police and saying everything but what happened. There's people here filming. She asked him to leave. It's about some Grinch Day thing. And then I'm in the background saying, but we were assaulted, but we were assaulted. And the video went viral. So I guess he just learned from the first time. It's better to just keep his mouth shut and disassociate from it. I'm not going to play the rest of the video because, I'm kind of doing you guys an injustice, because the very best part of this video is right now. So to see this video in its entirety, you guys need to head on over to Leroy Truth Investigations. You have to subscribe, make sure the bell is set to always, and then you can go click this video. And if you want to follow chronologically as to what's happened, you can watch from the first video posted 3 weeks ago and chronologically follow all the way up. There's been several updates. He interviewed people from the town. No justice for Josh signs and all. He has more videos from audits coming out, but you have to check out Leroy Truth and see just how much this guy's been killing it. Lucky to call him a friend. And I am lucky to have benefited from his work, because what you guys are seeing now is the smallest sample of his work. If I was to tell you that he took down one of America's, one of the world's largest political organizations in New York, he did. If I was to tell you that and I don't like Chuck Schumer, I think Chuck Schumer is a piece of shit, but he made such a stink and exposed police in New York for violating the Fourth Amendment right of voters, that he made such a big stink that Chuck Schumer was forced to go down there, shake his hands, and enact laws that protected voters and their rights, I'd be telling you the truth. This is all things that this guy has done. And now he simply brought his activism from what we say, IRL in real life to YouTube, just a different platform. This guy has been on the front page of some of the nation's largest and leading newspaper factions, doing an absolutely excellent job. So, I mean, make sure you subscribe to this guy and watch for his updates, because all the stuff that he's done personally, this is not my place to steal his thunder. We're going to make sure that he does a show and that he gets you the inside scoop. And this stuff is, someone says I call BS. This is stuff that is all true, because I've read it personally. Like, I've looked at the front page of the New York Times. Like, you know what I mean? I haven't been there. I've been on the front page of the Washington Post, certainly not the New York Times. So make sure you follow up on this. Also, again, pay apps are at the top. If you'd like to help support us, assist with gas and stuff, getting Rudy and I, Leroy and myself back out there. Pay apps are at the top. You can feel free to donate if you'd like, or super chat. Leroy, so Michael, thanks so much, and we hope you're feeling better. If everyone in chat could tell Mike to feel better, he's been going through it, spent most of the past couple months in the hospital. We really wish him to feel better. Leroy, you got involved in this because you were kind of on the outside looking in. And this time you weren't just a cameraman. Before, you were an impartial entity, just kind of reporting on stuff that you've seen. Now, being in the lion's den of the major liar, I mean, like, what are you seeing? Is there any way out of this? Are they ever going to do any better? What's the solution to their behavior?
Well, number one, as a journalist, of course, when you're interviewing someone, they're the focus of the story. I'm not supposed to be. But the only reason I became that is because he chased after me and he sensationalized it, because he couldn't control his emotions, just like Pacheco. And I don't see anything changing until he's out of there, until he's gone, because it all starts with the leader. Whatever is acceptable to the leader, then the people under him find acceptable. And the fact that that person assaulted you and still works there, that says a lot about what he understands is right and wrong, which is really messed up.
So what is next here? And I told the reporter that there was no point for me to do a revisit to Ridgefield, because the purpose of a revisit is to see if they take what they did wrong, they instill some change in training, and they try and fix the situation. I've always said, he doesn't think what happened was wrong. What's the point to go back? Is Ridgefield in the rear view for you? Because, I don't know what your plans are as far as filming and working on the story? Is Ridgefield in the rear view?
There's a couple of things. Is I will be getting the statement that Rudy Marconi gave to the police. I want to see what he said. I also want to hear the 911 call that was sent out, from the town hall, calling the police on us, even though it was Rudy who was the aggressor. And I also want to get the body cam footage to see what was actually said when they went to see Rudy, or if they muted the footage, which would be another story as well.
And we actually have someone that requested the body cam footage the day after it happened. So we are waiting for that as well. I have seen that the police in Ridgefield have been doing their due diligence. They have adversely, I might add, towards Rudy's wishes. And I think, and just so you guys know, anyone can run for office, even if you get a criminal record. I saw someone in office say, yeah, Leroy is running because Josh can't. Josh can. I can even run for lieutenant governor with a criminal record. I can run for senator. There's so many offices that I can run for. However, I'm an excellent mouthpiece. It takes someone that knows, like Leroy, he runs a really successful business. He's very well grounded. He's been in activism and reporting for years. He is every bit the person that will walk into a city and change it for the better. And even if that change is detrimental to his wants or his needs, he cares about the people. This is not some guy that needs a YouTube channel to try and break into life. I'm telling you something. I spent time with the guy. He's not hurting for money, okay? He's doing this because this is what his beliefs are. This is how he believes he can instill change. This is how he can, he doesn't know Police State Productions. He saw that his GoPro 9 was smashed, and he said, I got a brand new GoPro 10. I'll get another one. Let me just give it to you. This is a person that we need in this community that is going to be the difference. I would make a shitty politician. I will always make an excellent mouthpiece. So we appreciate that. Let me read some super chats real quick.
Before that, Josh, I want to do an important shout out to Scalzo Photo. He did the editing of this video. Took a lot of time. If you're looking for any photography, any editing work, Scalzo Photo, his information is in my video, in the description, and he did a really great job here. So I appreciate all the work you did.
Scott Keller thinks I couldn't win. Let me tell you something. The last time, so let's just give example for local where I am. The last person that ran for representative here, I think won by less than 1,000 votes. I have 1,500 people watching right now. So, I mean, I don't think it would be too difficult for me to win an office doing something. I'm just saying, I don't think I'd excel at it. I think someone like Leroy would. Andre Cordo says for $5 Canadian, Leroy, you need to ask for email, voicemail, contacts of Hitler Marconi since the attack occurred. Thanks, Andre, longtime subscriber and member.
Thank you,
great
Andre.
Dude. Drifting Chris 29 for $5 says, keep up the great work and have a coffee on me. I'm going to buy this man a coffee and also probably several other things, including unhealthy foods that I shall bestow on him because he's a health freak. Brooklyn Audit for $4.99 says, what's up, brother? Let's do a live together one day, or let me come up on your panel. Support you 100 in the 1A community. Love you all. Check out Brooklyn Audit. He was arrested unlawfully the other day, did a big video on it, did absolutely great work. Those are the type of guys that are on the front line killing it like Leroy. Josh for Watch says, way to go, Leroy, and AFA also. Like, share, sub, PayPal. Thank you.
Thank you.
News Now 702 for $9.99 says, great job covering the story as always, Josh and Leroy. Truth Investigations. Act like an animal, be treated like an animal. First selectman. And I will say, don't thank me. I did the first story. All this momentum, all this information from the first selectman to the DA in charge of the case, the involvement that he had with Sandy Hook, everything that's all been from this guy, not myself. So happy to give him a platform to make sure that his voice gets heard because he deserves it. Wolverine Transparency for $5 says, these people that hold positions as public servants that have authority, that narcissistic abuse and fully misuse the power of their office. I could not agree more. Scalzo Photo in the house. This is the gentleman. You should subscribe to him. Check him out as well. This is the gentleman that was help filming. When you watch the entire video, you'll see a lot of voiceover, great questions that he's posing and asking. Also, longtime supporter of the community. For $10 says, thank you, Leroy. I wish I had your speaking abilities instead of marbles in my mouth. Loved working with you. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lajla Featherman for 100 SEK says, hugs from Sweden, hugs right back at you. Andre's been a member for 1 month. He says, first mandate, firing the aggressor. Fire her. I think that we might see Leroy do just that. Mike Bowman for $20, just saying hi. Hi. We hope that you're feeling better, man. We really miss you. Lots of love. Wolverine Transparency for $2 says the whole First Amendment community should do a story on this. I couldn't agree. I could not agree more. With that being said, that's all the super chats. I don't think I have any PayPals to read out. Let me double check. No, there's no PayPals or Cash Apps to read out. So with that being said, you did all this work, man. So the closing goes to you, Leroy.
Well, I appreciate everyone's support in attending this. And I appreciate everything you've done, Josh, as well, for the community at large. And something that I get a lot of is people say, we would love to see more follow-ups, because the First Amendment auditors come in and, do what they do, just taking photos and video in publicly accessible areas. But then what happens after? And is there any kind of change? Do people learn something? And so I'm going to be doing more follow-ups to some of the audits that are done, so I can get each of you the information, hey, what happened, as well as to create change, so that it's not simply an activity that's done once, but something positive will end up being an outcome because of all of the work that we're doing collectively.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And follow-up is a big thing. And I know that it's tough to play devil's advocate. You get a great viral video, you want to move forward, you don't really have the time to go back. But this is why it's necessary. And I think that it proves the point that, I'll do a live stream audit and I'll have 600-700 people in there. I will do a live update where, and this is not just like, this one was kind of slapped together where I just did it real quick, but I didn't have to do much work, because Leroy is the real deal. He put everything for you. You guys notice I'm always putting pieces of videos together. And I noticed that these types of updates get lots of interest, and it should get interest because there should be a follow-up. We should be letting you know, because it's not about the fumble. It's about the recovery. And I always say this, they could have fumbled the ball big time on that first audit with Patricia Pacheco, but did they recover? The fumble doesn't change the scoreboard. The recovery of that fumble and the resulting touchdown is what can win a game. And when Leroy went back, they didn't fix anything. In fact, they went all the way into overtime, continuing to catch flags. And that's why we need to continue to do these audits. And if you have the ability, always do a follow-up. And listen, if you're an activist upcoming or a larger channel like myself, and you see an audit done in your area or somewhere within traveling distance and it didn't go well, go up there, bring your camera, see what happens. And if you don't think someone will respond, they will. Leroy Truth reached out to me with his video, and now we're fast friends, and I couldn't film with a better partner. Of course, I've got a lot of friends that I do this with, but this guy's phenomenal. You guys hold the ability to create change. We just provide the mouthpiece for it. So, and by the way, guys, if you want to still check out our friend Body Cam Network, who brought to you our last episode, feel free to check it out. He's got several videos up now. If you want a link to his video, go to my community page. There's a couple community posts. You can click on his channel that way. Leroy Truth Investigations, I appreciate you. And, we made the people a commitment. We are going to figure out how we, as quickly as possible, get you into running against the incumbent of Ridgefield and seeing if we can instill some change from the inside out, since they're resisting the change from the outside in.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us again, guys. If you haven't went to his channel, his name is Leroy Truth Investigations. He's an absolute beast, and he's G'd up from the feet up. We will catch you on the next one. Share, like, subscribe, and don't forget, that's the reason that we stopped you today.
And truth shall keep you free. See you, everybody.